there you go.
All right, so we're just waiting for the other parties to zoom in, and then we will take up the matters. Hi.
Hello. I was just seeing if Cornelius is here, but I think we're being.
Okay, awesome.
Laura, did you write down the number?
I'll see y'all in a
Oh, I
second.
gave it to
All
you.
right, thank you. Hey, I like the haircut.
Thank you. It feels so good.
Yeah.
All right.
Norma has it. Oh. Check it.
Oh, which one are you checking?
And anxiety. Lots of depression.
On you? All right, everyone, we're just waiting for attorneys to appear, and Mr. Acevedo, who do you have?
Judge, I have Cody Biggerstaff on the docket.
All right, to the clerks in the back, could I please have the file on Cody Biggerstaff?
Yes, Judge.
And anyone who's on the Zoom screen, could I please have those files? All right, who's the prosecutor on this case?
Judge, it's Ryan. He's coming.
All right, thank you.
I'm here, Judge.
Just one moment.
Oh, are we,
And with this
Al,
case-
have we, can we confer
I don't-
real quick, Judge? I mean, I kind of knew what we were talking about. But I don't think we talked about which ones he was going to plea on or anything.
All right, let me open breakout rooms. When I open up breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. And Ryan, I'm making you co-host, so if you could move Mr. Acevedo to a room, please.
Will do, Judge.
Thank you. And everyone else, we're just waiting for your attorneys to arrive.
Oh, yeah, you're hilarious. Let's talk for a minute.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
I just got off the phone with Cornelius, and I think that today we were here to just make sure that all the discovery had been granted in Yoast. Cornelius is currently in juvenile, he told me. He said he can call in at some point, but I guess not for a few minutes, or I'm not really sure for how long. He did allow me to convey to the court that he does have the discovery. I mean, we've been preparing this case for a while, so we're geared to go. We've got our trial. We've got our trial date.
All right, just a moment. All right, so your trial date is July?
Yes, Your Honor. The date is set during presiding, so that we definitely know we can get a trial during that week.
All right, thank you. Then I'll
Thank you,
note
Your
that
Honor.
Mr. Cox has all of the discovery, and can you make sure that a discovery acknowledgement is signed and completed?
Yes, Your Honor. Can I please get that to you? Hopefully, I don't think I can get it to you today because Mr. Cox isn't here, but can I get that to you ASAP?
Yes.
Okay,
All
I
right,
will.
thank you.
Thank you. Of
Thanks for coming in. Bye-bye.
course, good to see you.
You too.
Judge Boyd?
Just a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mr. Burrow.
Judge, Al wants to know if you had a second, if you could jump in a breakout room with us.
All right, yes, just give me a moment.
Okay, no problem.
Catherine Valenzuela, who do you have?
I have Christy Trevino, Your Honor. Sentencing, and I'm gonna get the report right now.
Okay, all right, do you need to speak with your client?
Yes, I will.
All right, Ms. Trevino, I'm gonna send you to breakout room with your attorney. I'll send you to breakout room number 2. And then just everyone give me a moment. I'm gonna go to breakout room number 1. I could do it from there. Yes. Mr. Slimane,
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
good afternoon. Who do you have with us?
I've got two individuals, Your Honor. I've got Mr. Chris Saxon who is present on the call. We are here for a pretrial motions, of which I'm aware of just a brief motion in limine that we have filed. And then I've also got Mr. Fabian Pinelli, who unfortunately is not going to be joining us because he is apparently in custody in Atascosa.
All right. So why is he in custody in Atascosa?
My understanding, Your Honor, is he was arrested on 2 warrants out of Bexar County and 4 new charges in Atascosa County.
Okay. And do you know what the new charges are out of Atascosa County?
Your Honor, I did receive yesterday an affidavit of his surety to surrender him in Bexar County, and I believe, let me see here, they listed the charges as being a felon in possession of a firearm, theft of a firearm, looks like possession under a gram, and marijuana 0 to 2.
Do you know who the attorney is out of county or no?
It's a Miss Hannah Hawkins. I believe she works with Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid under Sean Keen Dawes, but that's my understanding.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Norma Ferguson.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, on this case, can I have a 30-day reset, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, would it be possible, and I don't know, I'm just trying to think, because we're essentially in a position we're ready to plea on Mr. Pinelli's cases. Would it be possible to bench warrant him from Atascosa so we could go on the record and get these done, or are we kind of got our hands tied until?
If Atascosa has the ability to Zoom, we could do it by Zoom.
Okay. So I will try to talk to his attorney over there, then maybe we can get something set up.
All right, so what date, Ms. Ferguson?
It's in the chat.
Thank you. And Ms. Ferguson, can you see and perhaps coordinate with Mr. Slimane? Maybe we can get this done sooner if we can get Zoom set up out of county.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're gonna come back on April 28th.
Okay.
And if we have something before then, Nathan will do it before then.
Very good, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And then additionally, I have Chris Saxon on the docket, and he is on the call.
Okay.
And I've been
And then to
conferring.
the, probation.
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Valenzuela is saying that she needs a sentencing report.
Yes, Judge, I just sent her an email of our recommendations.
All right, and then what is happening with Mr. Saxon?
Your Honor, we are set for pretrial motions. My understanding is the only motion that is has been filed is a motion in limine that we have filed in response to some 609B information that was submitted to us by the state.
All right, then with regards to motion in limines, if the state is going to seek to present any type
Oh,
of
no,
evidence, excuse me. If the state is going to present any specific evidence at trial, then we'll take that matter up. I'll just require that everybody approaches with the motion in limine. And the court doesn't have the motion in limine in its file.
Let's see. It's a file mark from yesterday, Your Honor.
Just a moment. All right, to the clerks, I do not have a motion in limine on Christopher Saxon.
I'll get it, Judge.
Can you state the motion was filed yesterday?
It was, yes, Judge, I think that's when the clerk's file marked it as received was yesterday. But I would wager it would even potentially be by agreement. It's very standard, just 3 items that we're asking for in line with what.
Then with the motion in limine, if it's the standard motion, just both parties will approach before we go into that during the trial. And then at
Okay.
that time, I'll be able to make a ruling.
Okay, very good, Your Honor. Then that being the case, that's all I have for today. I guess we just need a trial setting from Mr. Saxon.
Ms. Ferguson, I need a trial setting on Christopher Saxon, please.
I don't remember. I was a little girl. My mom would take me to the cases.
1 second, Judge.
All right, we're going to come back on May 3rd. Mr. Saxon, that will be your jury trial date. You'll need to appear in person. Do you understand?
You're on mute, Chris.
I'm sorry, I missed the date, ma'am.
It'll be May 3rd at 9 a.m. You need to appear dressed for trial in court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. If there's
Thank you.
nothing else, you're both excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Have a good afternoon.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Slimane, before you go. I'm
Yes, Your Honor.
assuming this date is going on cause number 2020 CR 6576.
That's my understanding. Mr. Barry Hitchings represents Mr. Saxon on his other case, but in my discussions or our collective discussions, my understanding is that this case 6576 is driving the train for now. So we will be proceeding with this.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Nathaniel Navy.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes.
I have, I'm sorry. This is one, Judge. I have Stephon Brown. This was a motion to withdraw. I believe it was first set a couple weeks ago. He has a warrant out for his arrest. I had lost touch with him. And we reset it for 2 weeks to see if I could get in touch with him before, just so we could address this and see if he needed to request a court-appointed attorney or if you wanted to hire somebody else. But I haven't been able to get in touch with him, Judge. I left him another voicemail.
All right. Do you know which case is the case that he has a warrant for?
Let me see, Judge. I think it's the Night Mag 603666.
All right. Is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, Judge.
Right, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 8111A and 2022 CR 8112A, State of Texas versus Stephon Brown. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Nathaniel Navy, Your Honor.
And Mr. Nady, do you represent Mr. Brown on both cause numbers?
I do, Judge.
All right, did you file a motion to withdraw on both cause numbers or no?
I think one of those has one of those been closed out, Judge? I think that one of them was dismissed at intake, actually.
State, have any of these cases been dismissed at intake?
No, Judge, I see 811A and 8112A as both being open.
Okay.
All right. Any objections to us proceeding on the oral motion to withdraw on 2021 CR 8112A, State?
No objection.
All right, defense, this was reset so that you could have a chance to get in touch with Mr. Brown. Were you able to get in touch with Mr. Brown for this setting?
No, Judge, I wasn't. I did attempt to.
All right, the defense has filed a motion to withdraw. State, do you have any objections to the defense's motion to withdraw?
No, Your Honor.
And do either party have any objection to proceeding with this hearing by video?
No, Judge.
No, Judge.
For the record, Mr. Stefan Brown has not been on the Zoom screen. Ms. Ferguson, was Stefan Brown on the Zoom this morning?
No, ma'am.
Deputy Laura, has Stefan Brown made an appearance in the court this morning
No, Your Honor, he has not.
or this afternoon?
No.
All right, any motions with regards to the defendant's non-appearance? State?
Judge, it looks like a warrant was issued on March 28th, I guess 2 days ago. And so we would just ask that that still be the status and that his bond be forfeited.
All right, and that is, was a warrant issued in both cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and the court will.
Sorry, that was March 28 of 21. So it looks like he's been a fugitive for a while.
All right, the defendant then will be remanded without bond in each cause number. Mr. Navy, with regards to your motion to withdraw, the court will grant your motion to withdraw in each cause number.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
And then I also had one issue on Cameron Sell. I had him on the docket this morning. I had a motion to amend bond. Mr. Garcia was in agreement to that, to amend the bond to be GPS tracking with a curfew, Judge. And I sent you and Ms. Ferguson a copy of that proposed order with those conditions in there.
All right, and what is the defendant's name?
Cameron Sell, S-E-L-L.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you print that off? Our printer to the courtroom does not work.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And is there anything else, Mr. Navy?
Judge, I believe I was set also on Ricky Coleman on a motion to withdraw, but I was not aware that it was set today until pretty late, and I tried to get in touch with him, but I wasn't able to. But it's still pending an intake, Judge. So I'd ask if we could just get this set for a week so that I could get my client on the Zoom.
All right, so with Mr. Sale, is that case indicted?
It is. Mr. Sells is indicted.
All right, to the clerks in the back, could you please bring me all the files that are on this afternoon docket to the courtroom, please?
Yes, Judge.
Just give us a moment. And Mr. Saucedo? Jesse Sanchez?
Yes, Judge.
Hi, you have Laura Saucedo?
Yes, Judge, when we're ready for a plea.
All right, as soon as I get up those files, Mr. Navy, I'll take up your matters.
Thank you, Judge.
Who's the prosecutor on Saucedo?
Sure, Ray, Judge.
All right, the court is going to call 2022 CR 1745, State of Texas versus Laura Elizabeth Saucedo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia.
For the defendant?
Jesse Sanchez for the defense.
And are you Ms. Saucedo? I need you to unmute. Press the longest key on the keyboard. It's the space bar. And she is gone. Well, but it's still a beautiful Wednesday. Ms. Saucedo? Okay. Ms. Saucedo? right, Ms. Ferguson, can you contact the jail and tell them that we need to speak with Ms. Salcedo?
Miss,
Thank you. All right, Mr. Navy? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ricky Coleman is not the same person as Mr. Sales, correct?
Correct. Yes, two separate
All
issues.
right, and Mr. Sales, that case is indicted?
Mr. Sell's case is indicted. Yes, he was set this morning,
it came
Judge.
off when I already had it
And
turned on.
it's an issue on it.
I already had it turned on. Did you mess with it? It's down here, so she's.
All right, to the clerks in the back, could I please have the
Over here.
file on Mr. Sales?
Yes, sir.
And any case that is on this Zoom screen that was indicted, if I could please have those files. Thank you. All right, we're back on the record on Ms. Salcedo. Are you Ms. Salcedo?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense? You're on mute.
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it? You're on mute.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Salcedo, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with harassment of a public servant? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, she has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
All right, off the record for a moment. State Ms. Valenzuela is asking to confer with someone. Back on the record, Ms. Salcedo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived a right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,000 fine to be probated. The state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that's with the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, it is.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. To review that paragraph with your attorney, did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
I couldn't hear you, Judge.
Have there been any such motion?
No, there hasn't.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There'll be 80 hours of community service restitution, anger management, and parenting classes. So you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations.
Yes, Your Honor.
Into the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Any evidence to support the defendant's no contest?
State offers State Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objection.
Ms. Salcedo, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to relational testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states that he is one attachments and review the second. After hearing states exhibits 1 and evidence to find you guilty, how the court will defer finding you guilty to apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just 1 minute, sorry. All right, is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
The only thing, Judge, would be that to follow the recommendations of the state, and we would ask the court that we would like to waive the PSI.
All right, Ms. Salcedo, have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues?
Back in 2000, I think 12, 13, I had bipolar depression and anxiety.
All right, when's the last time you saw a doctor?
Back in 2015, I think 2013, 2015.
Do you have any children who are minors?
No.
Grandchildren?
Yes.
Is Child Protective Services involved?
Not anymore.
And why is that? Are they not involved because you're in custody or some other reason?
Well, I mean, I guess my kid, I don't have any minor children.
But you have grandchildren?
Yes.
Are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work in a factory. I work at the warehouse at Merrill's.
If you're released today, where are you gonna be staying?
Well, I'm gonna probably go back to my uncle's for a little bit. I'm not too sure if I can still go there, but I'll probably be there for a little bit.
Are there any drug issues with you?
No.
All right, this is what the court is gonna do. The court is gonna sentence you to $1,000 fine probated, 2 years deferred adjudication, 80 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof that you've had the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to have the COVID vaccination, but if you do with the booster, 40 of those hours will be deducted. Anger management, parenting classes, you must complete parenting classes, and if you complete those parenting classes, the court will waive the remaining 3 hours of your community service restitution. Employment within 30 days of release, there's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to want field visits, random 2 times per month. No unsupervised contact with minors and regular UAs. Probation, is there anything else that Ms. Salcedo needs?
No, Judge.
Ms. Salcedo, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Salcedo. Do better, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Don't leave yet, because probation is going to want to talk to you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Navy on Mr. Sale, what did you want to do?
Yes, Judge, I sent a proposed order for an amendment on his bond condition. He is currently on GPS full house arrest. I spoke with the state this morning and we're in agreement to amend it to GPS tracking with a curfew.
Okay, as soon as the court has that order, the court will sign it. And
Okay.
what state have you had a chance to tender an offer to the defense on this case?
Yes, Judge, we did today.
Mr. Navy, do you have all the discovery?
Judge, this was a case, we already have a reset date on this one. I just came back this afternoon to try to get this signed, but I'm not sure. There was a video that we were going to see if it was available. Basically, if any of the body cam videos or dash cam videos captured the incident. There was quite a few videos, and I think I've gone through all of them, but we were just going to confirm whether or not that video exists by the next court date.
All right, and what is your new court date?
It is, second, Judge. April 26th.
Okay. Then we will see you then. Do you have anyone else with us?
Judge, Mr. Coleman actually did just zoom in, so if I could be placed into a breakout room with him when he gets on, or I think he's getting on shortly if he's not already on.
Is this the person who's DeAndre McAfee?
Yes, ma'am, Deshandra McAfee.
Your Honor, I'm here for that case.
Yes, what is happening with this case?
Your Honor, we were set today to see, I guess it was a deadline for discovery issue. So states turned over everything and we have gotten everything we need on discovery. So that's the update as to that.
All right, and I was saying, since you want discovery, this case is indicted, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So do you have all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
And have you provided whatever information you wanted to provide to the state?
We have.
All right, state, did you tender an offer? On Deshandra McAfee?
We have an old offer, Your Honor, that I hope to just keep on briefly continuing to see if we can come to some sort of agreement on it.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall Ms. McAfee in 2 weeks? And this will be your plea deadline date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
1 second, Judge.
All right, your plea deadline date is April 13th. The court will not consider any plea bargain agreements after that date. You and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, is there anyone else ready? Because the court is going to start a jury trial.
Your Honor, we're ready on the sentencing for Ms. Trevino.
Your Honor, very briefly as well, I was just reporting on Kendall Blount's motion to appoint private investigator. We have a name. I emailed it to Norma.
Okay. All right, thank you. As soon as I get that, and then do you have all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe, I don't think there's any discovery issues at this time.
Okay. All right, then what we'll do is I'm going to give you a reset date. Ms. Ferguson on Blunt, can I have a 30-day reset, please?
Yes.
All right, we're going to come back on May 3rd. And then your next setting date will be a plea deadline date, Ms. Cruz.
Yes, Your Honor. If for some reason the private investigator needs a little bit more time, we will let the court know beforehand.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, you may be excused. Norma, you can let them know that 16B can go back.
Thank you.
All right, the court is going to call 2021 CR 11290, State of Texas versus Christy Trevino. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
I'm here.
For the state of Texas?
In the state of Texas, yes.
Brian Groomer for the state of Texas.
Ms. Trevino?
I'm sorry.
Yes. All right, for the defense?
Catherine Valenzuela, Your Honor.
All right, the court brought this case back to have a brief, well, not brief, to have an expedited PSI done. A plea was entered on January 14th. The defendant entered a plea of no contest. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state was recommending deferred adjudication. Did everyone have a chance to see the TAP evaluation results in the McMiles report, state?
State did, Judge. Yes, I did review those.
All right, defense?
Your Honor, the state shared with me the results.
All right, and so both parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client, Valenzuela?
Yes, after reviewing the McMiles evaluation and discussing it with my client, she wishes that this court follow it. She believes that it is an inpatient treatment that they're diagnosis treatment that they're recommending. She believes that it will assist her in helping her stay clean and to take care of some issues. She had been homeless prior to this, and she knows she does need some help, and she's asking that this court follow that recommendation.
All right, so you're asking that she remains in custody until transfer?
Yes, she doesn't have anywhere to go. Our understanding from probation is that it's a 2-week wait for women once she clears the legal and medical releases.
All right, Ms. Trevino, do you have any children?
Yes, I'm from California.
Ms. Trevino, do you have any children?
Yes, they're in California though.
All right, what are their ages?
6 and 2.
Was Child Protective Services involved or no?
Yes, they had my daughter, she had walked out the house and I put her to sleep with me. She had walked out the house, so I ended up going to jail that same day because I had walked out the house to look for her and I found her around the corner at the apartments right there. Like I could see the backyard, like from my backyard, my backyard window, I could see exactly that she was standing in front of me. So she walked literally right out the house, down the corner and out.
Okay, thank
And
you.
my son, he got taken in for when I was getting too high. I was getting too high with him.
All right, thank you. All right, this is what the court is going to do. 5 years deferred adjudication, $1,500 fine, that's to be probated. There's to be no contact with 2617 North Main Avenue. Restitution, if any, to the Family Violence Prevention Services. MIOF, 120 hours community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if she provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring the COVID vaccination, but if she does, 40 of those hours will be waived. The remaining hours will be waived if she completes parenting classes. There should be no unsupervised contact with minors. Proof of employment or SSI within 60 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider with minors. Field visits 2 times per month, random upon release. Regular UAs and regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Probation, is there anything else that she needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Bino?
Nothing from the defense.
I'm sorry?
I said nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Bino, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Trevino, good luck to you. If you need anything, just be sure to contact your probation officer, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and we're going to go back briefly on the record and cause number 2022 CR 1745. Ms. Salcedo, I'm not sure if I told you or not, but there's going to be regular Zoom reporting to probation, or either you can report in person if you cannot Zoom. Do you understand? Ms. Salcedo, do you understand? All right, I'm going to send you up both into a breakout room, and probation will go over your conditions with you. So if you all could go to breakout room number 1, please.
Is it on? Wait, no, you gotta, I think they don't have you on. You're not muted.
Me?
Beautiful morning.
I don't know why. No, they have you muted. I don't think you muted.
No, he is not muted. Who is speaking?
Oh, look, here it is, right? There you go.
What is your name,
There
sir?
you go.
My name is Ricky Coleman.
Ricky
I'm sorry.
Coleman?
They had the, I don't know how to use this iPhone, and they had the thing muted. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
All right, well, Mr. Coleman, when
Yes,
you
ma'am.
start, it's the time to learn how to use Zoom and use phones, or not when you have to use them.
And,
Yes, ma'am.
and Judge, I apologize.
You
I kind
done
of
the
gave.
day before.
I'm sorry. I
Right,
kind of gave late notice on that. So a lot of that is on me, Judge. If you could put me in a breakout room briefly with Mr. Coleman.
I didn't even know I had court. I didn't. What I push?
Judge Boyd, will Ms. Trevino stay in jail for DDRF?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and everyone else, we're waiting for your attorneys. Ms. Ferguson, I'm going to put them all in waiting areas. And we're going to continue with our trial. And Ms. Solomon, I'm going to make you a co-host so you can move throughout.
Yes, ma'am.
And to the prosecutors, I'm making you co-host, so if you need to move people around, you'll be able to do so. All right, and state if you could have your witness back on the witness stand, please, and we'll bring the jury in.
I think we need to, I need to make a motion to do that yet.
Okay, sure. We're back on the record in 2019 CR 3013, State of Texas versus Jeremy Rothenay. For the state?
Michelle Hayden.
For the defense?
Robert Mauer for defendant, Your Honor.
Yes.
Judge, defense moves yet again for a mistrial. As the court's aware, we had a previous incident where evidence in the form of a statement that the state had received prior to beginning of evidence on this case was not turned over to me. I made a previous motion for mistrial that the court had denied. And here we are again, where another witness who's on the witness list had talked to the state yesterday and given a statement. And I was never informed, one, that they met with the witness, because in the number of years I've been on this case, there's never been any indication that anybody had talked to the boy, and that the same with the detective had indicated that. And the state met with the boy yesterday and never either one indicated they met with him, or two turned over the contents of his statement to me. I received a statement today in the form of notes. Of course, is a juvenile, so unless the mother at the time had given me permission to speak with him, there's no way I could have done that. So the state met with this child, never turned over the statement, and to my knowledge had no intention of giving me any sort of information about that statement until the mother accidentally revealed that on the stand. So I think the cumulative effect of violation of the Morton Act and or possible Brady leads me to request the court grant a mistrial with prejudice on this case. I think it's a clear-cut, repeated violation of discovery and abuse of the discovery process.
Judge, as was mentioned previously, well, for one, Elijah Straub's, the witness's name and information is on all the same reports that defense has. They've known this from the beginning. All of that has been turned over. The other day, I filed and supplemented our witness list listing his name, just because when I went back through the witness list, I didn't see it on there. That was before we'd even talked to him. We talked to him on a Zoom call for maybe 5 minutes yesterday while I was on Zoom Docket here in between trial, just to see if he'd seen anything that night or knew anything. And basically, it's the same thing as the reports. We're not, obviously, if you'd said, oh yeah, it didn't happen or something like that, then we'd have to turn it over, but we're not required to give defense our notes every single time we talk to a witness. Defense has subpoena power. This is the first time they've brought up anything about Elijah Straub, and they've known about it the whole time. So we would ask that you deny defense's motion.
Can I respond, Judge?
Yes.
So to say I have subpoena power is not accurate on this case because it's a juvenile. I have to have the mother's permission to talk to him. And for the state to say, well, it's the same old thing he said. Well, first of all, he's never been interviewed by anybody. Second of all, they don't get to decide what they turn over and don't turn over. That's not how the Morton Act works. They don't get to decide whether or not it's exculpatory, whether it's Brady or anything else like that. The Morton Act requires they turn it over to me, and then I can decide whether or not it's something I want to use. But the fact that they met with this child yesterday and then didn't disclose, I think it would have been very simple. They could have said, we met with this boy yesterday. It's fine. But they didn't do that. What happened is the witness testified, and that's how we found out that the child had been interviewed. I have some notes that don't really do a whole lot to flesh out what happened. The state said that they don't record their Zoom interviews. So I think clearly it's a violation of the discovery process. And I think it's one thing to say, oops, it happened one time. But this is now twice in the same trial within one day where we've had a violation of the discovery process. And I think the court should grant a mistrial with prejudice.
All right, so this is the court's question. Number one, is this one page of notes?
This is like just a few bullet points. I mean, it was literally
Literally 5 minutes.
we're
At
on
one
the
point,
Zoom computer, yeah.
at one point we paused or we muted our part and looked at each other and said, he has nothing to add. We're not going to call him. Wrapped up the conversation, said bye.
All right, so here's my next question. Defense, have you had a chance to read the page of note?
Yes, I have, Judge.
All right, so defense, I'm not going to grant your motion for mistrial, but what I will do, it is 2:45. We're going to come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. And defense, you'll have a chance to review that one page. And if anyone wants to present any other case law for the court to reconsider its ruling, you're more than welcome to do so. But I'm going to allow the jury to recess, and we will come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. All right, let's bring the jury in.
All right, so the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, there are other matters that I need to take up outside your presence. Remember, I said that I'm still running a docket, and so there are other things that are not associated with this case that the court has to take care of. What I anticipate is that this trial will most likely be completed by Friday. So you've heard some evidence today. You are not to speak to anyone about anything that you've heard inside this courtroom. That means exhibits, testimony. You're not allowed to discuss it with anyone. You're not allowed to discuss it with yourselves. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to ask that you all be back here tomorrow at 10 o'clock, okay? And we'll start up at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Does everyone understand? All right, thank you so much. Everyone, please rise. And you're excused for today. We rise for you. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. You too. All right, Mr. Navy, you're back.
Yes, Judge. After talking with Mr. Coleman in the breakout room, I'm not going to urge that motion to withdraw today. If I could just get that taken off the docket. Obviously, if things change, I might get in contact with Ms. Ferguson and re-urge it, but I'm just asking that be taken off.
All right, it will be withdrawn then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge. Bye. And then just I sent Ms. Ferguson the proposed order on that Cameron cell bond agreement.
Yes, and then she brought it to me and I signed it.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good one.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yes. And then as soon as everyone is ready, just let me know.
Can I get a breakout room with Ryan, please? Judge Boyd, is it possible to move Miranda Lomeli and Cecil Ritterman into the breakout room with me and Mr. Biggerstaff, please?
Not on the record.
Okay, is Miranda, like,
I go from some guy.
dude, just one second, let me unmute. All right, the person who you want to go into the breakout room with you and Mr. Biggerstaff, this Miranda Lomeli. What is her relationship to him?
She's the mother of his child. Go for it.
All right, that's not allowed because then that's tantamount to a jail visit. If we were in the courtroom and he were in the jury box, you wouldn't be able to speak with him.
Okay, Judge. Can I get a breakout room with Ryan, please?
Yes, Mr. Gruber said if you'll mute yourself, he'll call you.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So he's better. He better be back Tuesday.
All right, Mr. Acevedo, are you ready?
I believe so, Judge. We finished the certificate of appeal and then the consent to plea via video conference.
All right, is the state ready on Bickerstaff?
I am, Judge.
Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2018 CR 11219, State of Texas versus Cody Biggerstaff. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Ryan Groomer for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Attorney Albert Acevedo.
All right, and are you Mr. Bickerstaff?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Bickerstaff, did you review a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Bickerstaff, I'm going to show you two documents. The first is entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. And the second is entitled State's Motion to Supplement Pending Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are you the same Cody Biggerstaff who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 11219 for the offense of robbery on April 15, 2019 for a period of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 2, that on or about the 27th day of July, 2021, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Cody Biggerstaff did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violated condition number 2, on or about the first day of July, 2021, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Cody Biggerstaff did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely marijuana, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
We'd waive the remaining conditions, Your Honor.
Any objections to the waivers?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Biggerstaff, did you understand by pleading true to violation of conditions 2 and 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of conditions 2 and 2?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Court will find 2 and 2 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge. We have an agreed recommendation. We'd ask the court to enter an adjudication of guilty, an adjudication of guilt and revoke Mr. Biggerstaff's probation and sentence him to 2 years TDC.
Is that the
Judge, that's our
agreement?
understanding. That's our understanding of the agreement, Your Honor.
Mr. Bickerstaff, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will find you guilty, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you to 2 years in prison, give you credit for any time served. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing? State?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Acevedo, has your client been in inpatient treatment?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Did he successfully complete inpatient treatment?
I believe he successfully completed one part of the program, but not the second one.
And what program was it?
It was SATIF, Your Honor.
All right. So is anyone asking for credit for time in SATA?
Judge, and maybe Mr. Hernandez can help us out on that. I think he went to SATA twice, Judge. If I am reading it correctly, I believe maybe the first time. Kevin, do you know what his status was?
He finished the first one in 2019. He did 130 days, and then the second round was only 89 days, and that was in 2021.
So with regards to those programs, did he successfully complete the inpatient part or no?
He did successfully complete the first one,
All right, and how many days with that?
130.
Is there any objection to the defendant receiving credit for inpatient treatment time that was successfully completed?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Defense, are you requesting that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will give the defendant credit for any time served and credit for 130 days credit for inpatient treatment at SAD. Is there anything else from either side with regard to sentencing?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Biggerstaff, I'm showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what the definition of a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Biggerstaff, your attorney informed me that Miss Lamelli, I guess, is the mother of your child.
Yes, ma'am, she is.
And who are the other parties on the screen?
Those are my grandparents.
All right, so why are you putting your grandparents through this? Because really with this motion, you would not have been revoked. All you had to do was follow the rules. So you're using marijuana, which you're making choices, you're making bad choices. And now you're crying because you're putting your grandparents through this, you're putting the mother of your child through this. And I'm assuming you love them both, or at least you're claiming that you are.
Yes, ma'am,
So
I
how
do.
old are you?
I'm 23.
I'm sorry, how old?
I am 23.
All right, so it's time for you to take responsibility, and it's time for you to either, you're going to be a good grandson or not, either you're going to be a good boyfriend, good father to this child or not. If you choose not to do either, then maybe you should just move on and stop bringing people into your nonsense. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I read the previous docketing sheet from the previous judge, and I see that you've been given plenty of chances. So you're gonna have to change. And if you don't change, what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna find yourself in and out of prison, in and out of jail. Your child is not gonna know you because you're gonna be in and out of jail. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Stop disappointing your grandparents and your the mother of your child. They're taking a chance on you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you need drug treatment, there's plenty of free treatment once you get out of the system, all right?
Thank you, Your
Good
Honor.
luck
May I
to
be
you, Mr.
excused?
Biggerstaff. Yes.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You're welcome. Norma, do you know where the attorneys are for Munoz and James?
No, ma'am. We've been trying to get a hold of them. No answer, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Judge-
Thank you, Rittemans, for coming. And Miss, I keep mispronouncing your name, Lamole. All right. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome. And Norma, Mr. Biggerstaff can go back.
I just called the jail judge, and I'm going to put something in the chat, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you to the Rittemans. You're excused. All right, Mr. Jordan, can you unmute for me, please? It's my understanding that an attorney has been hired, Ms. Garza. So we received the notice today. So Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this for next week, please?
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
gonna recall your case for next week, Mr. Jordan. If for any reason your attorney wants this heard sooner, then the soonest we can hear it would be Thursday. So it's probably gonna just be next week, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're gonna come back on April 7th.
So am I free to leave?
Yes. All right, and then Norma, I need the attorney. Who's the attorney on Carlos Munoz?
Sawyer.
All right, Norma, Mr. Munoz, we're bringing you back tomorrow, okay? And Norma?
Yes, ma'am.
Munoz, let's have him here tomorrow at 9.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
And let Mr. Sawyer know he'll need to be here at 9 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, miss.
You're welcome.